Let's begin. Start again. Focus your attention on that which is aware. That which is aware is your true self. It is in the background. It is an immediate presence that is always silently aware. Just for an instant, be thought-free, because who you truly are is ever free. It has no thought. It has no shape. It is the background of awareness. This is an invitation to fix the attention behind the mind. Allow the attention to rest within your true self. Leave the thoughts alone. Thoughts appear and disappear by themselves. Yet you are thought-free, thoughtless, changeless. Know yourself as that and be free. If the attention goes to thoughts, just look beyond the thoughts into an empty space. The space is absolutely still, silent, and knows itself by itself. As you listen to these words, recognize that there is a listener which is thought free. Listen to the listener itself. Sense the presence, the sense of I am, or the sense of I exist, not as an individual story, not as a conceptual image, as the background, as the empty space which is full of presence and empty from thoughts. Thoughts appear within that space, yet when there is no thought, you as existence, you as space remains. This is immediate, direct recognition of yourself. Don't look with the mind for yourself. Be yourself, and from that vantage point of self-awareness, witness the thought that appear and disappear without touching the thoughts, without any interest. Just thoughts floating in space, which is yourself. Sense the presence. Immediate presence. The moment there is a seeing how the attention follows the thoughts, the images within, the attention is withdrawn back into yourself, or the attention is being freed instantaneously. Know this and be free. Know that who you are is already free. Who you think you are is not who you truly are. Who you think you are is just a false notion, separate self. A conceptual image that believes itself to be real, yet remains seen and illuminated by the ultimate reality, which is you, which always exists. Yet it has no shape, it has no name, it is clear and pure, transparent. Recognize if the attention shifts from being to feeling being a person, feeling being someone. Just this ability to discriminate between being, not someone, not person, just being, pure being, which is yourself, and to suddenly feeling, believing that you are somebody, a person, an individual. It takes no time nor practice to directly experience who you truly are. Who you truly are is always here, awake, aware, being aware, not being aware of something, being aware as aware. Just as the attention is being captured with the movement of thoughts, images, memories, projections, allow the attention to be magnetized on that which is image-free, thought-free, spaceless. The opportunity is right now to directly experience what is always here, which is you. Not an individual you, because the individual you is not you, and there is no such individual you. It's only you, and habits appear within you. Images, feelings that the mind identifies itself with. It all takes place within the space, the boundless space which is you. And it is seen by you. Even the false identity is seen by yourself. And when the false identity melts, dissolves, instantaneously, you remain as yourself. Not as a person, as being. The person would always appear to have problems. The being is ever free, and you are that. We can stop for a moment, and I chose something to read and we can open. It's by Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. And as you listen, really pay attention to the listener that has no preferences, that is absolutely silent, like a sponge, observe, absorbs it all. Those who know only scriptures know nothing. To know is to be. I know what I'm talking about. It is not from reading or hearsay. To be, the mind cannot understand. To be is your natural state of being. It takes no time, no practice, no effort, just stopping everything. Stop activating a thought and immediately be. On the verbal level, everything is relative. Absolutes should be experienced, not discussed. This is really good because sometimes what the mind prefers to stay intellectually. It is interested in discussions, it is interested in understanding, yet you cannot understand your true self because any understanding is of the mind. An experience of yourself is beyond the mind. Yet because it is your true nature and its natural state of being, although it's not really a state like a state of mind, it knows itself as the knower of everything. And everything is yourself. So it's not the knower of that which is known, it is the knower of itself by itself, as itself. This is so everyone would have the opportunity to have glimpses of recognition of who they are. And as I mentioned before, there might be few phases that one goes through. One, in the beginning, fully identify himself as a separate self, as a personality, as a person, as an individual. Second phase, have glimpses of who you are, and there is still a duality. There's who I truly am, and there's a notion that I am a separate self, a separate individual personality, still a sense of duality. And the third phase is knowing that you are only yourself, not from your mind, from experience, from being rooted in who you truly are. And recognizing that there is no other, there is no separate self. There is only your true self, and the play of Maya is playing within yourself. The habits or the vasanas or the confusion or forgetfulness just appears within yourself to be seen and be extinguished. Even when there is no story, no matter what is going on in the body, that which sees it all is who I am. And the body and the self are not separate. And when there is no body, there is only the self. And when there is a body, apparently, the self sees it pure, clear, without any preference, without attraction or rejection. No preference. Truth is simple and open to all. Why do you complicate? Truth is loving and lovable. The more there is the recognition of yourself as yourself, and even a phase that the mind has to acknowledge who you truly are. Just like it acknowledged the rain, it acknowledged the body, it acknowledged that the thoughts are important, believing the beliefs to be real, believing that it is a separate entity. The mind has to come to the recognition that you are beyond the mind, that you are thought free, that you never had a thought, that you never think or move, that you're always here. And the more the attention rests on that which is immovable, on that which is omnipresent, on that which is yourself, the mind starts to go through purification, dissolving, resting, cleansing from all the impurities of the mind itself. Give up all questions except one. Who am I? After all, the only fact you are sure of is that you are. The I am is certain. The I am this is not. Struggle to find out what you are in reality. The sense of existence of yourself, even right now, is certain. Yet, if the attention is caught in the movement, in the thoughts, in the memories, in the projections, your desires, fears, then you exist. And it appears that you exist as a separate self, as a person, as an individual. Yet, if you question if you are truly an individual, and can you see that individual other than an image? And even if you see the image, because the images appear and disappear, when you look into the image itself, it dissolves into yourself, which always is existence itself. Establish the attention on that which is always here, on that which only exists, as existence, as consciousness, as bliss, supreme peace. All these questions arise from your believing yourself to be a person. Go beyond the personal and see. The beauty is that nobody needs to go beyond the personal. Try to find the person within your mind. Try to find the personal. And when you seek the personal, you remain as the impersonal self, the open, boundless space. Look for the person within you. The realized man knows what others merely hear, but don't experience. My stand I take where nothing is. Words do not reach there, nor thoughts. My stand I take where nothing is. That means the attention, just as an analogy, or the vantage point, is from nothing is. There's nothing that the mind knows of. No thoughts, no objects, no me, no I, no you, no this and that. In this nothingness, there is everything, the fullness of the knowing of yourself. The real is experienced in silence. Listen to the silence within. Silence is everywhere, yet you cannot localize it. And you are that silence itself. A thought appears within silence from silence and merges into silence. Maharaj, remember facts, forget opinions. The questioner asks, what is a fact? Maharaj, what is perceived in pure awareness, unaffected by desire and fear, is fact. What is perceived in pure awareness, that points that awareness is aware of itself by itself. It is aware of itself not as two, as just aware, awareness itself. That's the fact. It's not an idea. It is an immediate experience. It is the innermost experience of yourself. You must know your own true being as fearless, ever victorious. Once you know with absolute certainty that nothing can trouble you but your own imagination, you come to disregard your desires and fears, concepts and ideas, and live by truth alone. You must know your own true being as fearless, ever victorious. Once you know this once you know with absolute certainty that nothing can trouble you but your own imagination, you come to disregard your desires and fears, concepts and ideas, and live by truth alone. It means you start to shift the attention from the desires and fears, concepts and ideas, and live by truth alone. And even if you're taken by desires, fears, ideas, imaginations, you start to recognize that it appears like you lost yourself into madness, into stories that cause one pain, into an emotional roller coaster that is seen by you without any preference, without any judgment, without any resistance, just illuminating the habits playing themselves out and seen by yourself. It is the earnestness that liberates and not the theory. With earnestness, which is another word to commitment to yourself, serious, it means how much attention is given to your true self and how much attention is given to the ideas, concepts, images, beliefs, stories. And in the beginning, it fluctuates, or it is, Wushin says that it is a dance that happens. And as long as it is seen over and over and seeing the defects, and you start to look beyond it, look for yourself in it, and the attention rests within yourself, this is being serious. This is being earnest. This is being devoted to your true self. the more your attention rests within yourself, the more earnest one is. And if one is truthful when they don't, this builds the earnestness. Recognizing how much attention is given to everything other than yourself. Ideas, stories, concepts, dramas, instead of shifting the attention back to yourself or disregarding what appears or looking through it instead of at it. Instead of looking at the story, looking through it, examining who am I without this story? Is this story real? What is here prior to any story? Who is looking at the story? Who is looking at the one that appears to be identifying as a separate self? Who is aware? Because I'm aware of the story, which is not the ultimate self, yet because I'm aware of the story, it's a proof that I'm not a story. I'm not the story itself. I'm the seer, not that which is seen. Just like when the eye, the physical eye, sees an object, it is for certain different from the object that is seen by the physical eye. Just as I, as the true self, is watching the story, the image, the concept, is a proof that the one that is watching and that which is seen are totally separate, are not the same. Anyone being here right now, recognize that many images pass through themselves, yet the basic fundamental experience that I am aware hasn't changed. The ideas pass through one's head, which is inside the self, different images, memories, projections, yet all of them were passing through you, and you silently watching all of it. Therefore, you are the ultimate watcher, and when there is no thoughts passing through, you watch yourself only. And this watcher is eternal, is untouchable. Nothing can affect it. Your sincerity will guide you. Devotion to the goal of freedom and perfection will make you abandon all theories and systems and live by wisdom, intelligence, and active love. Theories may be good as starting points, but must be abandoned the sooner the better. Your sincerity will guide you. The more you're sincere, this will guide your attention to withdraw within. The moment the attention is withdrawn within, in an instant it is magnetized into itself. Devotion to the goal of freedom and perfection will make you abandon all theories and systems and live by wisdom. Devotion to the goal. The goal is to look beyond the thoughts. So the goal is not somewhere in a distant, in the future. The goal is to take the attention away from the moving mind. Take the attention away from thoughts and images. And rest the attention within yourself. Theories may be good as starting points, but must be abundant the sooner the better. All theories keep the attention on the thoughts, because every theory is of the mind. And the more you keep attention to the thoughts, the more real they appear to be. The more you take attention from thought, the less real they appear, because the sense of what's real, which is yourself, is already here, not changing, coming and going. There is no need to turn round and round in endless questioning. Find yourself and everything will fall into its proper place. This is another thing to be aware, that if you obsessively questioning, your attention remains on the mind. You question can be like, who is changeless within? and you don't activate any thought. Even if the mind, out of busyness, habit, comes with the answer, just see the answer and don't activate a thought. Allow it to complete itself and be absorbed within you. Because the question appeared within you, and disappeared within you, and the answer appeared within you and disappeared into you. And as you watch beyond, your attention is into the empty space. The obsessing of questioning starts to wind down, quiet. This is a nice sentence. You speak with assurance about things you're not sure of. The mind is sure that what it thinks and believes is the truth, when in fact the truth is nothing to do with the thought and belief. And that's the only fact you know that exists. Maybe in the beginning, you think that what the fact that really exists is the thoughts and beliefs. Yet, as it shifts, you come to realize that the thoughts and beliefs are just a creation of the mind out of habit, which appears your mind. It's just creating ideas, concepts, beliefs. Yet you're not a belief. Don't believe what the mind is telling you. Now, you never believe anything because you are silently watching, silently listening, silently being aware. Ignore what the mind is telling you and be free. And even if it tells you all kind of things, just watch it, see it. It's just a habit playing itself out. And sometimes it gets worse as the attention is withdrawn from the chatter of the mind. Words are of the mind, and the mind obscures and distorts. Hence, the absolute need to go beyond words and move over to my side. Words are of the mind, and the mind obscures and distorts. Hence, the absolute need to go beyond words and move over to my side. Absolute need to go beyond words and move over to my side. Because I am the absolute. That's the only side I know myself to be true. That's the only side I know the truth. All the rest I assume, imagine, rationalize. Recognize what you know right now for certain. You give reality to concepts, while concepts are distortions of reality. Abandon all conceptualization and stay silent and attentive. Be earnest about it, and all will be well with you. You give reality to concepts, while concepts are distortions of reality. Because reality, which is who I truly am, is within every concept, and it is the only vibration that is real. It brings into life, apparently, the concepts to appear to be real, just as light goes through an image and give the image life, although the image itself is lifeless, and the source of life is the light itself. So the same here happens. You give reality to concepts, while concepts are distortions of reality. Abandon all conceptualization and stay silent and attentive. If you're trapped in a concept, means the concept bound that which is boundless, which is yourself. Question if the concept is you. Can it remain when you look at it directly? What is real? Is the concept appear within reality? And when the concept merges, into whom does it merge? And what remains absolutely real? Abandon all conceptualization and stay silent and attentive. Be earnest about it, and all will be well with you. The more the attention is withdrawn from concepts and ideas, the more there is recognition that all is well with you. That you don't need anything, you don't want anything, you are untouchable. Try to go beyond words. Unready means afraid. You're afraid of what you are, or you're afraid of who you are. Your destination is the whole, but you're afraid that you will lose your identity. This is childishness, clinging to the toys, to your desires and fears, opinions and ideas. Give it up or give it all up and be ready for the real to assert itself. He's pointing how the more your attention is withdrawn from what he calls childishness, clinging to the toys, to your desires and fears, opinions and ideas, the self will assert itself. It will take more presence. It will take more, occupy more space instead of the thoughts and ideas, desires, fears, projections, imagination. It will take over, which is basically you are claiming back yourself because the mind apparently took over the self, like a thief taking over the house and the owner of the house. The more you kick the thief out, the owner of the house starts to claim itself as the owner. Do not worry about others. Deal with your own mind first. Learn to look without imagination, to listen without distortion. Learn to look without imagination. Check if you have an image right now, not what the senses perceive. Within. And who is seeing if there is no image? From where are you looking? Learn to look without imagination, to listen without distortion. Your questions are about a non-existing person. It looks like there is someone, an individual, a person. As you question the person, the personhood, you come to meet yourself, which is boundless space. The silence of the mind will dissolve. The silence of the mind will dissolve and absorb all else. Do not ask superficial questions. Apply yourself to fundamentals, to the very roots of your being. You want immediate results? We do not dispense magic here. Everybody does the same mistake, refusing the means but wanting the ends. I cannot solve your problem by mere words. You have to act on what I told you and persevere. It is not right advice that liberates, but the action based on it. It's either the mental action of either discrimination, concentration, or inquiry, questioning, or the action of shifting the attention, or just allowing the focus to be lost. Focus on thought instead of zooming out, focusing on yourself. By doing, you succeed, not by arguing. Now now I know nothing, for all knowledge is in dream only, and not valid. All experience is born of imagination. I do not imagine, so no birth or death happens to me. All experience is born of imagination. I do not imagine, because I am thought free. So no birth or death happens to me, because I'm not a person. I am formless, formless awareness. Let us not proceed by verbal logic. The most difficult are the intellectuals. They talk a lot, but are not serious. Merely talking about reality without doing anything about it is self-defeating. You are entangled in the web of verbal definitions and formulations. Go beyond your concepts and ideas. In the silence of desire and thought, the truth is found. Whatever is conceived by the mind must be false, for it is bound to be relative and limited. Whatever is conceived by the mind must be false, for it is bound to be relative and limited. No university can teach you to be yourself. The only way to learn is by practice, shifting the attention back to yourself, questioning what appears to be yourself, and see if what appears remains. You need to return to the state in which I am, your natural state. Anything else you may think of is an illusion and an obstacle. You need to return to the state in which I am. Your natural state. Anything else you may think of is an illusion and an obstacle. Sometimes people start to use their mind to imagine, yeah, myself is like a tree. Myself is like the ocean. All these ideas are being seen by yourself, being illuminated by yourself. Yourself is not an image, nor concept or conceptualization. It is prior, it is behind any idea or any image. Recognize it right now. Stay beyond all thoughts in silent being awareness. Stay beyond all thoughts in silent being awareness. Have glimpses more and more of yourself. It doesn't have to be long sitting meditation, because one can sit for long meditation and dream the whole time. It's more recognitions until the self starts to assert itself over the mind. It can be just like this satsang. Words are spoken, yet it enables one to really continuously experience more the presence of themselves. The one who listens to the words without interpreting the words themselves, without analyzing the words, is yourself. The answer is not in words. The answer is not in words. So as question arises within yourself, any answer is not yourself. When there is no answer, the real answer is silence, is presence, which is aware. No movement, no thought. Open, boundless space. Some events purify the mind and some stain it. Moments of deep insight and all-embracing love purify the mind, while desires and fears, envies and anger, blind beliefs and intellectual arrogance pollute and dull the psyche. Some events purify the mind and some stain it. It is supposed to purify the mind. Moments of deep insight and all-embracing love purify the mind. Loving yourself by giving the attention, the full attention to your true self that purifies the mind. While desires, fears, envies, and anger, blind beliefs and intellectual arrogance pollute and dull the psyche. All thinking is in duality. In identity, no thought survives. All thinking is in duality. In identity, no thought survives. The natural state of being is your true identity with yourself. All thoughts burn when you remain with your true identity. Go forth unburdened with ideas and beliefs. Abandon all verbal structures, all relative truth, all tangible objectives. The absolute can be reached by absolute devotion only. Don't be half-hearted. Go forth, unburdened with ideas and beliefs. Abandon all verbal structures, all relative truth, all tangible objectives. The absolute can be reached by absolute devotion only. Don't be half-hearted. Too much analysis leads to nowhere. There is in you the core of being which is beyond analysis, beyond the mind. Mere listening, even memorizing, is not enough. If you do not struggle hard to apply every word of it in your daily life, don't complain that you made no progress. Mere listening, even memorizing, is not enough. If you do not struggle hard to apply every word of it in your daily life, don't complain that you made no progress. Do understand that the mind has its limits to go beyond. You must consent to silence. To see reality is as simple as to see one's face in the mirror. Only the mirror must be clear and true. A quiet mind, undistorted by desires and fears, free from ideas and opinions, clear on all the levels, is needed to reflect the reality. To see reality is as simple as to see one's face in a mirror. Only the mirror must be clear and true. That's again purification of the mind. A quiet mind, undistorted by desires and fears, free from ideas and opinions, clear on all the levels, is needed to reflect the reality. Realize that no ideas are your own. They all come to you from outside. Reality is not a concept, nor the manifestation of a concept. It has nothing to do with concepts. All these words enable one to discriminate between who you are, which is absolutely real, and concepts, movement, thoughts, ideas. As the mind is made of words and images, so is every reflection in the mind. As the mind is made of words and images, so is every reflection in the mind. It covers up reality with verbalization and then complains. Just recognize what is already here. I'm aware that it might be too much for some minds, And it can be like nourishing for others. The mind tries to escape in all the ways it can, to be seen as a phantom, as a non existing entity. Because the moment it is seen, it dissolves into yourself, which is reality, existence itself. So, this is it for today. I hope everyone can recognize the presence of themselves, of who you are. Bring the attention more and more back to yourself. Question what appears to be yourself and return back to who you truly are. Rest within the silence of the heart. I wish all of you countless blessings, all the very best to all, and see you next time.